Budget Otaku, and today we have another episode of Low Budget Otaku News, and this time is for the second week of November 2021. And of course I'm using Search Japan just because it's more organized, but you can look at other Japanese websites. Always remember that you have to pay taxes and shipping when you buy from Japanese sellers, so sometimes you can also check local sellers. Sometimes it's cheaper to buy from Japan, even paying taxes. Sometimes it's not, and sometimes even if it is cheaper to buy from Japan, buying from a local seller is just easier, and you don't have to deal with customs and headaches like that. So just keep in mind I'm just using Search as a reference. And let's move on, starting off with the new figures up for reserve. We have Figma Urua Ruchia from Hololive. I don't know what Hololive is. It's coming out June 2022, $63. Let's quickly look at some pictures. Again, Figma does the anime girl, the best from any brand. I'll fight you all for it. Figma is just fantastic in this type of figures, and they have not missed yet. They have missed in other areas, not in anime girls. They're just doing amazing job, and they're continuing with it. Again, June 2022, $63. My opinion, looks fantastic, even though I don't know what it is. And speaking of anime girls and Figma, we have Figma Mona Mirror Reflection of Doom version Genshin Impact, and say it with me, I don't know what it is. Well, I don't know what Genshin Impact is. It's coming out August 2022, $68, a little bit more expensive than the previous one. But I think it's because it brings a lot more accessories, or at least bigger accessories. Normally that has an impact in pricing, but again, looks really good, so maybe it's worth the pricing. But though, Figma is increasing the pricing a little bit too much in my opinion. Reabot 1 to 12 VR 38 Bartley Hokit, coming out in April 2022. $166 from Genesis Climber Mospiada, whatever that is, I have no clue again. The figure itself looks interesting. It's a bit weird, like there's some cloth parts there in the pants, and then you have a bike and the character, and it seems like the bike transforms to fit the character. It's a bit strange. Very expensive. It's from Sentinel. Sentinel tends to be a bit expensive in their pricing. I have the Sentinel Devil May Cry figures, and they're good. They're definitely good. Bit pricey, but they're definitely very high quality. I would say definitely some steps above Figma and SH Figure Arts. Moving on, we have Spiderman Into the Spiderverse CV Action Penny Parker and Spdr. This is also a Sentinel figure from the Spiderverse. Finally, something I know what it is. $104. But I am a bit disappointed here, and I'll explain why. We have two figures that actually come with this buy-in. One of them is the robot and the other one is the girl, but the girl is not articulated, and for that price I would expect it to be articulated. I don't expect it to be amazing, but come on, the robot itself already has a lot of basic articulations, even though it's really detailed and pretty. But yeah, the girl should be articulated, especially because you do have two other figures from this collection, and those two figures with the collection are going to look a little bit weird when put together with this if the character doesn't move. Like, the robot moves but the other character doesn't move, and it just will not look complete, I think. Moving on, we also have a model kit from Kotobukiya and Mavlove, that I don't know what it is. 144th scale, and the Shiranai second UI Bridge Customs April 2022 re-release, and $22, and I almost thought it was a Gundam, but then I looked closer. Yeah, of course it's not a Gundam because it's not Bandai, but afar it almost looked like a Gundam. Just a little bit weirder, I think, but I don't know. It looks okay. If you collect Gundams, even though this is not a Gundam, probably will like this because it looks pretty damn detailed. And it's not that bad the pricing. Speaking of Kotobukiya, we also have Metal Gear Rex. Yes, from Metal Gear Solid. I actually own the Silent Entropist model kit from Kotobukiya, and it was a very fun build, and it's very good looking, but it's not very solid. After you build it, moving on, a lot of parts start just falling, and that was a bit disappointing to me. Like, it's great for being the shelf and looking fantastic, but if you want to change the possibility, yeah, it's a little bit clunky. $58, a bit expensive for a model kit, but it's a big model kit, so I can understand the pricing. And of course, it's a re-release. Definitely, I would love to have it, even with those problems, but yeah, right now, not possible. Moving on, we have our releases, so things that are already released in this week. Final Fantasy VII Remake Playart's Guide, Rufus Shinra. So from the Final Fantasy Remake, they're releasing a lot of figures, they all look fantastic. Playart's Guide are some of the best looking figures in the market, even though they have the weird scale that is not 112, is not 1/6, like a weird scale that only Playart's Guide use. But come on, the pictures speak for themselves, and it's still available. Trials of Mana Bring Arts Kevin and Charlotte. This one is from Bring Arts, so it's smaller scale from Square Enix figures, and it's from a show called Mana that I don't know. 156, so it's 2 figures, it's a pack of 2 figures, and normally they are almost as detailed as Playart's Sky, but in a smaller scale factor, so close to 112. Overall, they're doing a fantastic job, but right now it's sold out in Hobby Search. You can put Notify when available, or of course search other websites. The same thing with Bandai's Saint Cloth Myth X Delta Megadeth Alberich from Senseiya, $96. If you have seen other episodes of Low Budget Otaku News, you know the Senseiya figures are almost never in stock. They just sell out so quickly. That is crazy. So normally when they are already put up for reserve, you either put Notify when available so they warn you when they get more stock, or rarely you'll find them in stock. It's crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. Moving on, SH Figure Arts Ultraman Trigger Multi-Type also sold out. $44 more or less. It's from Ultraman. It's also sold out, so you have the option of Notify when available or searching another website. I'm actually surprised how popular Ultraman seems to be. Moving on, we also have this weird Robocop 1/18 action figure Battle Damage ED 209. 1/18 is a weird scale. It's from Aya Toys, never heard of them. $64 for such a small scale is a little bit expensive. It's also sold out. Notify when available. Let's take a look to have more idea. Okay, looks well weathered, looks interesting in terms of overall detail, and I barely can see how the articulation works. But it does seem to have articulation, just not very visible how the articulation works in these pictures. It seems like a little bit limited articulation. But still interesting figures if you're a Robocop fan. And from the same brand, Haya Toys also sold out, but for Aliens action figure Crouching Alien Warrior. 1/18. $26, much better pricing, but this doesn't seem to be articulated. Or is it? It is articulated, okay. Sometimes not looking like it's articulated is actually a good thing, because the articulation seems to be well hidden, but it is articulated. And overall, the weathering again and the detail is good, even though I don't like the scale that they're using. The overall detail of the figure looks fantastic. So yeah, it's sold out right now in Hobby Search, $27. Then we also have this 1000 Toys Income 112 re-edit Halo Infinite Master Chief Mjolnir Mark 6. That's a big name. And $150 is still available. So it's a Master Chief figure. There's a couple of different brands that have done Master Chief. And I gotta say, this one probably is the best looking one I've seen so far. I like the articulation again, it's really well hidden. You barely can see the articulation, and it works really well because it's all the armor hides the articulation so well. Fantastic looking. The weathering on the armor is great, even though I can imagine me playing a little bit around with it and improving the weathering, but such an expensive figure, probably not. But yeah, still available, so check it out. And you got some restocks. Let's see if this time I went and got some restocks that are actually still in stock. Figma Ruler John the Ark, one of the best Figmas that I've reviewed, even though I reviewed the KO and not the original one. It's a very good looking Figma from the Fate franchise, and it's still available for anyone looking for it. Then we have a bunch of Soul of Shigoken restocks from the Mazinger Z line. All of them very expensive, more than 100 euros, 110 euros all. So if you're a fan of this Mazinger Z and UFO Robot Gringer, you got a bunch of Soul of Shigoken restocks. And we also had a restock of the real great High New Gundam, and it got sold out again. $36. I actually don't know this Gundam. Let me just quickly check. Wow, that looks fantastic. I gotta say, real grades in the beginning I was a little bit skeptical because they're trying to be like master grade quality in smaller scale, and it was not looking like it was working, but the newer real grades are doing that. But that was it for the second week of November. I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys keep collecting and get the figures and model kits that you're looking for. I'll see you next time.
Do it! Just do it!